Ladies and gentlemen, it is showtime. Please enjoy the show.
It's the corner where the treats at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We've touched down from a higher plane. Why you made it here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We about to.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys in the show, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the warfare.
It's week 7, and the Kansas City Chiefs are gearing up for a classic AFC West showdown against the Las Vegas Raiders. That's right. It's Raiders week, baby. The Chiefs are an 11.5-point favorite, and Arrowhead is ready to explode. Rashee Rice is back from suspension, and this offense looks dangerous again. Mahomes spreading it around, Kelce carving up defenses, and the points are flowing like we're used to seeing in Chiefs Kingdom. FanDuel has every angle covered from Mahomes' passing yards to Rice's receiving props to how this defense plans to clamp down on the Raiders' attack. Want even more action? Build your own same-game parlay and ride with the Kingdom all Sunday long. With fast payouts and an app that's smoother than a Mahomes sidearm throw, FanDuel makes every snap feel bigger. And don't forget, every Friday on Chief Concerns, we drop our best 5-leg same-game parlay for the weekend, plus JD's 10 keys to victory, breaking down exactly how the Chiefs can handle business against their rivals and keep the AFC crown in Kansas City. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app today and make every snap count. Chiefs, Raiders, Rashee Rice back, the offense is rolling, and the Kingdoms are ready to roar. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Chief Concerns. My name is Marcus Dash, and our guy, former Chiefs tight end Jason Dunn, will be joining us. Should be joining us shortly for tonight's episode to grade what we saw yesterday. And yeah, we got a great game ahead this coming week. Excuse me for the advertisement in the beginning of the episode. I didn't update it to week 8. I should have. I totally forgot. But yeah, it should be a good one next week against the Commanders on Monday Night Football. So this time next week, we'll be underway for week 8 of the season against the team without their starting quarterback. It appears to be without their starting quarterback. So we shall see how that game goes. And I think it's going to be another game in our favor for our Chiefs. But I hope everyone is feeling good today after a huge win yesterday against our rivals, the Raiders. 31-0 domination. You know, games like that, can't take those for granted, even if it's against a bad opponent. Beating a team 31-0, you don't usually see that. Andy Reid, first ever shutout in a regular season game. So no matter how good a team can be, you can go years and years without, or decades and decades without ever getting a shutout victory like that, especially against our rival in the Las Vegas Raiders. I hope everyone is doing well tonight. And it should be a good show tonight. Just kind of, talk about what we saw yesterday, hear what JD had to say from yesterday, because we didn't hear from him last night because of, he was dealing with his, family stuff, and we hope, again, I know all of you guys sent your prayers in, all your blessings in for Chad, JD's nephew, who was undergoing a procedure yesterday. And again, we're sending all of our love and prayers JD and Chad's way. If you guys don't mind throwing in some prayers and love in the chat, it can go a long way. Just to making people feel better, so hopefully, Chad watched the show still. He may not be on in the comments, but he still watches the show. So I know seeing the love that you guys give, that definitely can make a person's day. And of course, it makes my day and JD's day as well. So but it should be a good show nonetheless tonight. And this Lions game is pretty crazy that they're Buccaneers. I got to say, I'm a huge Mike Evans fan. Obviously, you guys know how I feel about Baker, but Mike Evans went out with a really scary injury, it looked like, knocked on his head, and apparently he has dealing with concussion and a shoulder injury as well, the way he landed right between the head and the shoulder area. So, it's one of the best receivers of this generation, I would say. It's a huge loss for them, especially he missed the last few weeks and he's coming back tonight. So, it's rough to see. And it's a tough game, man. So when JD always calls themselves gladiators in the field, they are gladiators, So, all right, let's see who's in the chat tonight. Audra Chenault, good evening, Chief Concerns family. Audra, what is going on? I hope you're doing well, Audra. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're feeling good after that game yesterday. And I saw you were on the live last night. Joey, Chiefs defense played good, but is there enough depth to continue playing well? Well, I do think that's the thing, and we'll kind of talk about it. We did talk about it a little bit yesterday, but defensive line played decent yesterday, right? ONL, Omar Norman Lott, out for the season with a torn ACL injury. And even before that, there was a report from the Athletics' Diana Rossini who said that the Chiefs are looking at defensive line help, not running back help, but defensive line help. And that was before the injury to Omar Norman Lott. Omar Norman Lott has since been ruled out for the rest of the season with a torn ACL. So you have to imagine if before the game they were looking for defensive line help, after the game, they're going to be looking for even more so. And, Tasia and I brought up two names. Tasia brought up Calais Campbell, trading for him from the Cardinals. I mean, their season's – it's crazy. The Arizona could be in play right now in contention for their division, but they just, for whatever reason, they've had these last-second losses, blunders they've had, can't get out of their own way. But Calais Campbell could be a guy the Chiefs could go for. Guy's at the end of his career. He could be playing for a Super Bowl to end his career. Who knows? I mean, he signed with Arizona this last year to end it where it started. So who knows with that situation. But you got to trade assets for it. Probably not much, a 6th or 7th round pick for a guy who's 40 in his last season. Or you could go the Christian Wilkins route, free agent, picking up a guy who, a lot of people are kind of staying away from with red flags. It's very low risk signing for us. If it works out, it works out. This guy only 2 years ago, in 2024, CBS, NFL.com, you can look it up. Look at the 2024 defensive rankings. Christian Wilkins and Chris Jones were the top two defensive tackles in that free agent class. They were the top two defensive players, and some lists had them as the top two defensive players overall in that free agency class. So, it's not that far away. Yeah, he's recovering from a Jones fracture injury, and they said he could be ready by the end of this, by mid-year, and we're approaching mid-year right now. So that could be an option for us. And why not? We have a need for defensive tackles position, and you bring him into vet min deal. He proves it. He gets paid in the offseason, which we'll see. He's only 29, too. He turns 30 in the end of December. But, hey, man, I'll take give me a 2-year deal on him. Hey, man, you prove it. Go get paid elsewhere after 2 years. Prove it in Kansas City next to Chris Jones. And honestly, that'd be amazing to have two guys like that next to each other. I know there's rumored to be some problems with him in the locker room. Nothing was ever confirmed about that. That was all just kind of – you had reporters just kind of saying there was things going on there, but no one really actually said anything. Schefter never really said it. No one reported it. It was more like, there's funny stuff happened in the locker room. We don't know, right? Nothing was ever reported. So, yeah. Will, people talk about the Chiefs having more first downs than the Raiders have plays, but, we had more points than they had plays. That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, more points than plays, yeah. Yeah, I mean, more points, more first downs, all that. I mean, everything. I mean, it was a disaster of a game, to be quite frank. I mean, if you're a Raiders fan, kudos. You should be getting paid to watch the Raiders at this point. That's how bad it is. And again, a lot of people aren't even imagine if you were an out-of-town fan, right? Imagine if you weren't a huge NFL fan, but you were a big Raiders fan. You're paying all this money for the NFL Sunday ticket on YouTube just to watch your team get dominated like that. I mean, you're barely getting any primetime games, but just to watch your team get dominated like that, I mean, you have to be a huge fan. So I commend all Raiders fans who continue to watch year after year since 2002 because it's been tough sledding for them, and it doesn't seem like it's getting any better anytime soon. And it's just crazy because you see these Raiders fans saying, "Oh, fire this guy, fire that guy," after every year, and it's like, I mean, at one point you have to stick with the coach at some point here. You can't just keep firing the guy every year. You're never going to go anywhere. So. Unless you're committed to a full-on rebuild. If you're committed to a full-on rebuild, sure. But, it seems like every coach that comes in, there was no rebuild. It's kind of like, you're trying to patch up what's there and you're trying to win with that. I mean, look at the offseason the Raiders had. They brought in Geno Smith. And at the time, I was like, okay, this is very, very chiefy, right? You brought in a Hall of Fame coach, a Super Bowl winning coach, or at the time, Andy Reid wasn't a Super Bowl winning coach, but he was on his way to being a Hall of Fame coach. And then you bring in Alex Smith. I thought it was going to be very similar for the Raiders, but it's just, again, it's a totally different type of team, right? Because if you remember that team that Andy Reid took over, we had Pro Bowlers on that team. We had 5 or 6 Pro Bowlers on that team between Charles, Tamba, DJ, Justin Houston, Eric Berry. He was coming into a better situation. And again, they just have Crosby and Bowers. So two Pro Bowlers, and then you bring in Geno, and you draft Ashton Jeanty. I don't know. It's tough. And I don't know if you guys caught this, but Andy Reid and Pete Carroll, after the game was over, they hung out at midfield. They had a long conversation. Usually you don't see that, but I'm sure it was like keep your head up kind of thing. Like you don't know what I'm dealing with here. Also, another funny thing about Pete Carroll, there was a clip a picture I saw. I don't know, I think it was maybe CBS or maybe the Chiefs Twitter account might have posted it, but it was Mahomes warming up before the game, and you see Pete Carroll and Andy Reid watching Mahomes in awe, just like jaw dropped, like Pete Carroll in his brain's probably saying, "Man, I want one of those." Like one of those bratty kids on Christmas who's jealous of somebody else for getting something that they wanted for Christmas, right? And they're just watching the other person open the gift, and it's like just jaw dropped. That's what it looked like to me. Audra, what is going on? Rich Cooper, offense looked amazing. Yes, sir. Offense is back. Defense is back. It's all coming together, baby. All coming together. Defense was suffocating. Yep, 100%. Can't wait for these grades tonight. Neither can I. It's going to be a good show. I cannot wait. Will, A+ everywhere. I mean, you can make the argument. You can definitely make the argument. Audra Chanel, we'll have to see this teacher's grades. He does grade hard. JD does grade hard, and we'll see if JD is joining us tonight. Let me send him out. Let me see if he's coming on here tonight. Because tell you what, if JD's not on here tonight, this might be the easiest game for me to grade if it has to be me. So we'll see. Let me contact JD here. So yeah, it should be interesting. I'm not as tough as grade as JD. I'm more the substitute teacher that has to grade. And if I am the one grading tonight, let's just say I'll be a little lenient. I'll be more what Will said, A+ everywhere. So yeah. MJ had to still watch the MNF boring as hell since I hate the Lions and Bucks did nothing tonight. Hard to watch. Yeah, I mean, it's not looking good. I felt like this game was going to be a domination. I'm surprised that Tampa Bay held out as much as they could, 14-3 at halftime. I'm surprised that they've hung in there as long as they have because, I mean, if you watch the game, Lions have pretty much been dominating the entire thing, so. So yeah, it's just yeah. So I think the line was like -6.5 to open the game. So I figured, okay, Tampa has been really good this year. Every game has been a one-score game. Detroit's got dominated. Both teams kind of have injuries all over the place, and I thought that 6.5 for a team that just got dominated was kind of a lot of points to give, especially to a team that's 5-1. So I assumed that Detroit was going to win this game, and I'm pretty sure most of public money was on Tampa to cover the spread tonight. So I kind of figured that Detroit was going to kind of lay it on them. 14-3 at halftime. It's double digits, but yeah. Will, when even Tage is completely satisfied, man, you know we handled business. That's a very good point. That is a very good point, Will. That's a very good point. Yeah, it's Tasia is one of those guys. So Tasia and JD are very different, right? JD's very critical when it comes to, constructively critical when it comes to grading because he's looking at all the nuances. He's looking at how great. He's looking at all the things that we don't look at, right? When we all watch football. But Tasia is one of those hard guys to, he's always been one of those against the grain type of guys. So like, let's say everyone likes this song, he probably will be the one that does not like this song. Things that are popular, he always goes against the grain a little bit. That's kind of what he's always been. But yeah, when Tasia is excited and happy and satisfied, that's when you know things are doing pretty well with the team. So you gotta enjoy that. Amda Brown, woohoo! What's up, Amda? Hope you're doing well, buddy. Hope you're doing well, my man. EJ, Chiefs defense has depth at everything. Honestly, with how they switch around, just need a defensive tackle. I agree. I think the defensive tackle is the only thing we really need because I think having another defensive tackle next to Chris Jones will open up things for the guys on the outside. I mean, look, we're starting to see Omenahu kind of come into form. Carl Loftus is coming into form. It's one of those things, right? Like Carl Loftus got paid this offseason, so you expect maybe a bigger year from him. But so far, he's getting the pressures. It's just like that's kind of more the same as last year. But again, if we could figure out other defensive tackle spot, I'd be much happier. But it is what it is, right? It is what it is at this point. I mean, hey, if it can get Christian Wilkins, man, man. Now we're talking once you get a guy like that. And even Clive Campbell, honestly, I'd be happy. I think people mentioned Malik Collins, but I don't think Cleveland's going to trade him. I think they've already done enough with trading during the season. Optimistic James, let's go. What's going on, buddy? Will, Optimistic James, Raymond Brown. Raymond, is it Raymond or Ramon? Either way, what's good, buddy? I hope you're doing well, my man. Rich Cooper was nice to sweat a game. Was nice not to sweat a game. Hey, that's becoming a commonplace, right? 2 weeks in a row, Lions. Lions. There's moments in that game where I didn't get out of hand, but Ravens, Lions, Raiders. If you look at all three of those games, even the Giants game, all of our wins this year, kind of not really sweating, right? Obviously, certain moments in the beginning of the game, every game starts out 0-0, so you're going to sweat it a little bit. But for the most part, man, I can't remember a year. Last year, we had the gauntlet with every game going down to the wire. But hey, with so far every game this year, not having to worry about that, man, I love that. I honestly, the gray hairs, maybe we'll stop the gray hair growth. Maybe for a little bit, we'll stop the continuation of the gray hair growth if we continue to win like that. So that's a big thing, there, Rich. That's a big thing. Optimistic James, never mind. It's not a bye week. Nope, not a bye week. Washington Commanders on Monday night next week. I think that might be our last Monday night game of the year. I believe so. Let me check the handy-dandy calendar. Yep, that's our last Monday night game of the year. So no more. Last one was the Jaguars game, and then we have this game. So last one. Sasha, I feel sorry for Marcus Mariota when he plays Kansas City. I do too, but I will say, there's a lot of bad backup quarterback play in the league, and I have to say that JD is coming on tonight, guys, so you don't have to deal with the substitute teacher having grades tonight. I have to say Mariota is probably one of the better backup quarterbacks in the league. So, I do feel bad. I mean, I don't feel bad because we're going to win next week, and I'd rather play. I was looking forward to Daniels Mahomes matchup. I really was. The new school quarterback versus the prime, the everyone's GOAT currently. So I was really excited for that. To say that Mariota is probably going to play. He's a good quarterback, Heisman Trophy winner. He's probably one of the better backups in the league. So it's not bad, and we've seen him win games this year in place for Mariota, in place for Daniels. So. It's a solid quarterback. It's not gosh, what's a good comparison? It's not Quinn Ewers with the Miami Dolphins backup quarterback, right? It's not Quinn Ewers coming in. It's it's a solid quarterback. I mean, he's won games for it. Yeah, you know what? He's beaten us in the playoffs before, so we've seen this guy at his best. So Mariota's no slouch, I wouldn't say. He's no Daniels, but he's no slouch, right? Will Chad be strong, brother? Sasha, Chad, give it hell. There you go, baby. Andre Chanel, up for Chad and JD and the family. Love Chad. Hope Chad gets to see all this because Chad will see all the love. Optimistic James, prayers up to y'all. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you. Andre Chanel, yes, prayers for Evans. Watching that. Okay, Chad and Mike Evans. There you go. Chad and Mike Evans, baby. Prayers to both of them. For sure. No injuries in this place. We don't like to see people injured. We don't like to people not them seem hurt either. So, hey, we're all prayers to everybody out there who needs it. Go for Casey forever. What's going on, buddy? Good to see you, Chief Concerns. Go Chiefs. Hey, appreciate you, bud. Appreciate you. Kathy Welch. How about Agba? Get him back. Ooh, not bad. I will say Agba was great, man. That 1 year we got him, that kind of reminds me of bringing in Christian Wilkins, right? He was a first-round pick. Brought him in for that 1 year, and he dominated, and he ended up getting paid after that. Similar kind of thing, right? You bring in Wilkins, he gets dominates while he's here, he gets paid. I'd be okay with that. Shoot. I'd also be okay with bringing in Wilkins and say, hey, man, see how this is for the half year. We'll sign you to a 2-year deal. Keep your name clean. Get paid in 2 years' time, right? You have him finish out with Jones's contract, and then, hey, we're all good. The bygones be bygones. See you later. You helped us out for another 2-year window. And then you go elsewhere, and then, ONL hopefully comes into his own during those 2 years. So, hopefully. Joe E., what's up, buddy? Sasha, did Tasia declare him a character concern? I don't believe so. I don't think he did. We're talking about Wilkins? I don't know, actually. I think it's more of a question mark there of what the concern is, because there's nothing ever, confirmed there. So, maybe an asterisk, but if it was a rookie coming out, that would be a character concern because we don't really know, right? But it would be people are talking about this, but hey, second round grade, why not? I love taking those character concerns. Linda Hunter, Jets are the same way. Yeah. Although Tyrod's a pretty good backup quarterback. That's another quarterback that I wouldn't want to play against either. Yeah. I mean, Quinn Ewers is the first one I thought of. There's some bad backup quarterback play in the league for sure. Dylan Gabriel. That's another one. But he's their starter right now. So Rich Cooper, hard to rebuild a dumpster fire overnight. Yeah, no, it's true. It's going to take time. That's why I don't understand these fans who just want, like, you. And I get it. 23 years of being horrible. All of a sudden, like, I guess it comes a point where, like, yeah, man, we need to fix this. But, man, because, like, even in the years we were down, there was always hope, right? We always had talent. Like I just mentioned, we were coming off a 2-14 season, the number one pick in the draft. Reid comes over. But, like, we had 4 or 5 Pro Bowlers on the team. So, like, it's kind of – that was actually a weird situation, right? You shouldn't be 2-14 when you have 5 to 6 Pro Bowlers on both sides of the ball. So, like, that was, I guess, a unique situation, which is why, Reid signed a dotted line at the airport. Yeah, that was a unique situation. But, I mean, we did go through some tough years. We really did. And we had Cornell coming on here. He was the coach during that 2-14 season. He was there for some wild times. I'm sure you guys remember the Eric Winston, the brown bags over the brown bags over the heads. Eric Winston calling out the fan base for being happy that Castle got benched. A lot of stuff has happened, right? But even like when JD was here after Vermeil days, there were some down years, but down years were 7-9, 6-10. It's just 23 years of being horrible. It's just tough for anybody. I mean, I guess you have to really experience that badness. I don't know. It's tough. I feel for Raiders fans, and I don't at the same time. It's one of those tough things, right? In between. I'm going to sweet and sour on it. Honor Brown, considering how Pete Carroll used to run the score up on his opponents, Andy should have seen. Yeah, I don't know. It was respect both ways because Carroll wasn't calling timeouts. They were just running out the clock. They just wanted to be over with too. So there was definitely mutual respect there. That's when you have two, they call it the Medicare matchup, the AARP matchup. When you have two guys who, won championships, they're high caliber dudes, high classy guys. That's fine. You're talking about Pete Carroll of like the USC days. This ain't 03 anymore, man. So I mean, I think Carroll understands that we're gonna be bad. There's gonna be plenty of opportunities where teams are gonna want to do this to us. Let's just rise the clock out, get this game over with. So Joey, no A's. Ooh, no A's. Are you serious? No. There's gonna be a lot of A's tonight. I think JD's gonna give out some A's. Oh yeah. Special team needs some work. Well, yeah, that's something. I thought that game was gonna start off brutally yesterday when they had that nice return. I was like, oh, nice. Seriously? Come on, guys. General 51. I didn't like Pete Carroll, but I'm taking the kneel down. But him taking the kneel down, knowing they had no chance, I salute that. That was just two coaches respecting each other and really honestly just wanted to get out of Dodge. Come away. The game's already over, 31-0. Let's get out of here with less injuries as we can. You got running the clock on both sides, no timeouts. You love that. I mean, that's class. And that's class. And seeing how juxtaposition, right? Last week you had the classless respect from the Lions at the end of the game trying to fight us and then going online and saying Chiefs cheat with the refs. But then you have to go back to this week, rivalry game. But at the end of the day, both teams want to get out of there without injuries with 31-0. The game's over. Let's just go. Because that could easily be a game where it's chippy on the field. There's the rivalry aspect, getting their butts kicked aspect. But they didn't. They just want to get out of there. So I respect to Pete Carroll, honestly. I think he deserves a lot of respect. Specifically, kick return, kick off. It's kind of rough. Yeah, it hasn't been the best this year. Wishy Hall. What's up, Wishy? Hope you're doing well. Channel 51 non-marks give the grades. No. JD's coming on. I'm not giving grades to that. This is JD's baby. I'm only a substitute in a pinch. If JD told me he couldn't do it, I would give you grades tonight. That's what I would do. But no. We have the real professor. Okay, I'm the assistant. I'm a TA. I'm watching him as soon as he's doing. I'm writing down notes on how he does things. That's what I'm doing. Andre Shadell, Tampa only got 58 yards in the first half. Yeah. 14-3 though. Still a close game. So Bucs are a second half team though. Yeah. Yes. Yep. Bucs are a second half team for sure. When I'm mad as heck that Denver came back. I know that game, man. That was awful. I don't know. The Giants cut that kicker because that was rough. I mean, he's coming back home on Southwest Airlines or Spirit Airlines if he is coming back home. Direct flight to where your hometown is because you ain't coming back to New York with us. That was awful. I was really stoked. I was like, man, Chargers lost, Raiders lost, Broncos lost. Let's go. But I'll say this. The thing that everyone was scared about with the Broncos was their defense. I know they're leading the league in sacks, but that defensive performance, we've seen some other leaky defensive performances by them. I'm not scared of that team. I'm not scared of Bo Nix. I mean, he's played majority of his games, at least half the game, he's looked like garbage. He hasn't looked good, and then he comes live in the fourth quarter. You can't do that against us with our offense the way it is, and you can't do that against Spags. So good luck to the Broncos. I after yesterday's game, it's one of those things how like a lot of people felt good about the Chiefs after we lost to the Jags. I feel even better about us being much better than the Broncos after yesterday's game against the Jackson Dart led Giants. Rookie quarterback, defense has a good pass rush, but they don't really have anything in the secondary, and they were able to kind of stymie the Broncos all game, score on their defense. I honestly feel better about that matchup against them. I'm not scared at all of Denver. Not that I was before, but I feel even less scared going into our matchup with them whenever we do play them. So that's how I feel about it. But I was upset they lost. I was rooting for the Giants. When's the last time Wilkins played? Wilkins played like week 3 of last year. I think he got hurt like week 3, week 4 of last year. So, yeah. Raymond Brown, I'm old and answer to anything close. Razor Ramon, baby. Razor Raymond, Razor Ramon, my guy. Our boys have gotten into a group. Yes, they have. We are looking good, good, good. I don't see Chiefs losing another game if they stay healthy. I don't think so either, Tailgater. I'm right there with you, buddy. Go for the Casey forever. Bucker had a good game yesterday. Hey, he made his extra points. Can't ask for more than that, right? Made his extra points and didn't kick anything out of bounds. I am A-okay with Harrison Bucker and how everybody else is. And our guy, former Chiefs tight end, Jason Dunn, is joining us now. There he is. What's up, JD? How you doing, buddy?
What's up? Hey, what's going on, man? What is happening, Marcus? Dude, man, what's up, Chiefs Concerns family?
We missed you. We missed you, man. Everyone was sending their love and their prayers last night for Chad and you all, and today everyone was sending in their prayers and love to Chad. How is our guy, JD? JD? I think we lost him right out the gate. Okay. JD? JD, you there, buddy?
All right. You there?
JD? Yeah, okay, there you go. You froze for a second. You froze for a second.
All right, man. Now I heard a little bit of it, man. I appreciate it. Believe me. My family appreciates it so much. Chad does too. I was able to see a little bit of the game, man. And so we are, we are faithful people, but we are in such awe and gratitude on the love that we have been given and everybody sharing it to us for Chad's well wishes, and for us to comfort and peace. So he had a procedure yesterday, went well. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just now getting back from the hospital. That's why I was telling you, man, I was trying to go. I don't know if I wanted to do it down there, come up here, but Chad is, he's sleeping comfortably. So I was like, let me go ahead, head on up here, talk to my peeps real quick, get a little sleep tonight. Thank you, John Clifford, my brother, and everybody out here for, like I said, all your prayers and thoughts and energy sent our way, man. We appreciate y'all so much. And like I said, we are humbled by you all's love. So when I was at the hospital, it was kind of, we had the screen up, me and Chad. I was like, the Chiefs are on. So all we could see was really like the red zone, catch plays back and forth. But then at a certain point we had to cut it off because of, we had to get ready for everything. So yeah, man. Yeah, brother. Yeah, man. But I appreciate it, Marcus. Thank you so much for you and Tage and, recognizing that me being here yesterday too. So, I love y'all, man. Lean on y'all for these things. And I'll let y'all know I'm very transparent of where I am, with my family and whatnot, because they are the most important things to me in my life. But y'all are important as well. I love you guys and gals, every single one of y'all. So appreciate it, man. But it was a good win. I had a chance to actually watch the game today.
Okay.
Yes, Lord, family matters most, no doubt about it. They always come first. So that was it was exciting game to watch. It really was. And I had to go in and dissect this whole thing, right? Because I seen 31-0. I'm like, man, this right here is a total annihilation of the Raiders. And so I needed to see this thing for myself, trying to make an assessment. So I'm gonna get my grades now, and I want everybody's like, is JD gonna hand out A+? Hey, I'm gonna keep it fair. Okay, that's one thing I'm gonna do. I'm always gonna keep it fair. So
I could see the coaches having a pretty good grade today, offensively and defensively. Maybe not about position groups, but I can see coaches maybe getting an A or two. At least offense and defense. I don't know about special teams, but special teams, man. Thankfully, offense and defense are playing at a high level as they are this year because special teams, man, woo-wee.
Yeah.
Pretty stanky.
Yeah, man. They I was like, ugh. And I was watching, because in my head, I'm sitting there like dissecting everything, like, man, what am I gonna give a grade for this and for that too? And at times I was like, okay, it's a good grade, and some start cutting it down. Like, all right, okay, we got to be let's be real, let's be truthful. We can't get caught up all the emotion of everything being beaten 31-0, right? So that was the thing. You said he followed the keys to victory pretty good. They did a good job of it. They did. When you're playing a team that knows you, and everybody was kind of talking about the offense that they, Chip Kelly, and I was like, hey, it's Chip Kelly's offense. That's why they kind of look the way they look. That's the reality. So I've always said that. I always think Chip Kelly is, he's a great college coach, but you get up here to the NFL and is apples to oranges. It really is.
It's a different beast.
It is, no doubt about it. So we were without a doubt on the field a much superior team through and through on both sides of the football. And this is not a surprising win for me at all. And even in the fashion that we won, and probably could have put up more points. To be honest with you, could have easily put up more points. And we didn't. So we had a little bit of mercy rule on these guys, I was like, hey, what else was needed to be done? Okay, we made a statement to everybody, but that was it was important. It's important, like going forward, because we started looking at this, Marcus. We got 2 big games coming up these next couple of weeks before we hit the bye, right? And so it's a great indication to find out who you are, where you're going. What your journey looks like. And so for me, in my assessment, I think this is kind of a good start, having Rashee Rice to kind of get him back acclimated into what we do, and everybody. And I've seen Andy and those guys just trying different things out. And I think we should have, especially against a team like this. So, these next 2 opponents are going to be a little bit different. The Commanders' defense is pretty decent. I watched what they do. They got a pretty decent offense too. Jaden Dane, did he get hurt? Did something happen? Yeah, he his hamstring. So they don't know.
He's probably not going to play this week. That's what Dan Quinn has already kind of alluded to. They said they're lucky they have the extra day, but it does not look good for to play this week. But I will say now, I know some people in the chat were saying, "Oh, they had Marcus Mariota. I feel sorry for him." I will say Marcus Mariota is amongst all the backups in the league, as far as a starter, maybe not the best starter, but as far as because when you want a backup, you want a guy who's a veteran, who's been there before, he's played playoff games, he's played in big games, he's won games, even beating us in the playoffs before. That's a solid backup for a spot start here and there. So it's not like Dylan Gabriel or Quinn Ewers coming in a game, right? It's a guy who's he's been there and he's played at a high level. So it's a solid backup for their system that they run, for that Cliff Kingsbury system. Perfect for that system. So again, it's not like a cakewalk of a game. It's still a solid team they have over there. I do think we're going to dominate them. That's the spread being 9.5, but it's a solid quarterback for a spot start.
Well, he definitely gives them a chance. He gives them a much better chance than, like you said, of some of the other guys out there for sure. But we should be outclassed Mariota if he comes in or, and beats us. I would be very shocked if that happened. But, certain things he does really well. He still is very mobile. He can run the football. We know that. And like you said, Cliff Kingsbury type of offense, he should do a pretty good job. They got Scary Terry back. They got some weapons. We know they got some weapons around them. So we just had to shut all that down. So, but yeah, man. These next couple of weeks are going to look completely different. What we got to be ready for. And so,
yeah.
I think we go around and decimate these next two teams. That's how I feel about it, Marcus. So,
and no better way to do that than do that on Monday Night Football in front of the world. The last time I saw us in front of the world was against the Lions, where a lot of people were picking the Lions against us. Now we're going to show this explosive offense on prime time on ESPN next Monday night. So that'll be exciting to show the world what we have in store in Kansas City.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah, guys. So you ready to rock with the grades, brother?
Ready to rock and roll. Let's go with it.
Do it.
So
right.
We go in. Let's see who we got first. The coaches, obviously, right?
We have offensive coaches first. Yes, sir.
So this showing this week, looking at some of the plays that was called, kind of what we wanted to do. Obviously, we wanted to feature, Rashee Rice, get the ball to him, knock it, whatever rust that he might have had. I didn't see not one. That sucker was oiled up and ready to go. Matter of fact, he was so juiced up, man. He probably could have easily caught about 12 balls and probably 2 more touchdowns.
Easily.
Yeah. But, we had to spread it around a little bit, try to make some things happen. I think the play calling was I thought it was okay. I don't think it was A-worthy by no means. I'm just being real on some of the things I saw. And sometimes we got a couple of penalties to help us out to move the football, move the chains, get second chances. So that's kind of good. We came out second half. I didn't really like the play calling coming out of the second half. It was kind of ho-hum, right? I still always want to see when we come out second half, still attacking, those type of things. And we ran a lot of variety of plays, but I will say this: I did love us running, the reverses with Rashee Rice. Like, we try to give him work. That's what we did. We gave him work, and it was good for him. So Joker got leathered up. But I will say this though: I did kind of like the tempo. The plays that we were, that we had, we could get the ball out of our hands pretty fast. Really love those. So overall, I'm going to give the offensive coaches I had a B, but I might give them a B plus. Yeah, that's what I had. I had a B down, so like I said, it was just a few things that just looked like you just where they was defending us, where Pat had to take off running because nobody was open. So what are we doing there? And when you have a team of that is struggling like this, this should look like that. It should look like 31-0, right? So yeah, I go with that. I go with the B plus. Andrea, sure, we'll go with B plus. I had a B, but I give him a B plus on this.
Yeah, we have majority of the grades in the chat. We got A minus, and we got 2 B pluses. So right around the same area as you, JD.
All right.
Respectable. Optimistic James says, "Okay, Optimistic James." He's a little golf clap for the B plus there. Yeah,
right.
Jesse B, I've seen that a little bit of Handy Andy actually run the ball more than usual. I think that was kind of boosted by just the end of the game, just trying to get the heck out of Dodge. I don't think it was a lot of runs yesterday. I mean, not more than usual, I would say.
No, not at all. We up 31-0. I mean, that's what you're supposed to run the football. This is the time that you can actually kind of run the ball a little bit more, right? 4-minute offense, you're up this much. Hey, run the clock out. That's what you're trying to do. Get chunks, get yards, but you get to work on that aspect of your offense more so than anything else. And believe me, that's going to help us out up front because I don't want to think our offensive line. I don't think our offensive line was great at run blocking. There were still some things that I didn't like. Could have did a much better job, but hey, we'll see with the grades with those guys.
We shall see. Yeah, we got to see Caliendo get some extended playing time yesterday. I'm hoping that the back injury for Trey Smith will be okay for next weekend. All right, we got our Commander-in-Chief, QB1.
Pat was another one I was kind of, hard to grade a little bit. He did a amazing job getting the ball out of his hand, picking and choosing. The no-look pass obviously was, but that's what he does. So when I'm sitting there grading Pat, it's always I'm grading at the standard, right? That's how I'm grading him. He's always, if he's the best in the league, which I say he is, then I got to look at him and grade him from that measure. I think he did a great job, kind of, like I said, getting the ball out of his hands, making some good decisions. Some errant throws that got knocked down, and some could have been picked off. But I think he did a good job managing everything he did well. But I gave Pat, I gave him a B+.
Yeah, it seems like everyone's kind of on point with that. B+, B+, got an A+ here, A-. So yeah, right around the same. Perfection 2K asks JD, what is the Showtime standard?
The Showtime standard?
Yeah, Pat's nickname is Showtime.
Oh, his standard is, I'm expecting him to have a lot of completions, a high completion percentage, make great decisions, get the ball out of his hands really well. Being the best in the game, I expect to see some fire balls on time, and he had a lot of that. He did. There was a few that was kind of knocked down, some errant throws that really kind of put him in jeopardy. I mean, they had a couple of picks that they actually could have had and didn't. And so that's what I'm looking for, in Pat. I'm looking for, certain quarterbacks. I'm looking for playoff Pat. That's what I'm looking for. Playoff Pat now. And I mean, Pat he's played well. He has. So and he's still getting better. Pat is that much better. So when I say that, Pat is just that much better than what he played yesterday for the A grade for me. So
agreed. Rich Cooper, no turnover likely plays. He had 2 balls where he was trying to force into Rashee Rice there. He got lucky that one wasn't picked, and then lucky the other one just bounced off the cornerback's hand. So, I mean, he did have a few, and I get it. You got your new toy back. You were kind of trying to want to press the ball to your guy, get number 4 the ball, but still, I mean, and I'll say this, the one thing, the last 2 weeks for Patrick Mahomes, I know PFF, we're not, we look at PFF, it's not the end-all, be-all standard for us. The standard for us is JD's eyes. That's the standard for us on this show. But PFF, 2 weeks in a row giving Pat, pedestrian grades. It's like people were saying, Nick Wright says that Patrick Mahomes is breaking the PFF grading because the fact he's getting a 62 or something like that for their grades. Like, how? What are you watching? What is PFF watching by giving him these pedestrian grades? It's like that he's pretty much breaking the tool there. Because if that's a 62, then what's a 100, right, in a performance when it comes to PFF? So
it is. I'll say his is what B+. I mean, 86 is where he's probably at, somewhere around there. So that's how I look at it. And like I said, he'll take off when he needs to for the first down. Obviously, teams are going to play him different. What we do because of the passing game. But I think, like I said, yesterday I think he managed the game really well. Make some really good decisions, throw some really tough balls to guys. Some balls put on guys, and it was a couple of drops here and there. But other than that, man, I think Pat, did well up until some of the errant throws. Let me put it that way. I was like, man, Pat, ain't no good decision. So
yeah, right with you. And Pat, like you said, high stand for a guy who's as good as he is. If you're grading Quinn Ewers or Dylan Gabriel, we have the kind of game that Pat just had, we'd be giving Dylan Gabriel an A++ with it.
Well, I would say, should you ask Pat what he got? I wonder what he would grade himself.
Right. Yeah, I mean, he says every week at the podium, we're getting better. We're getting better and better each week. So it's like, it's that fact that he's saying better. It's not saying I'm the best, right? It's all about progress.
Yeah.
All right, we got the offensive line, and our guy King Suma. Again, if you just type his name, and he's getting a lot of love from Chiefs game. I had someone actually commented on one of our videos or on one of our tweets like yesterday saying I was wrong about King Suma. I take back what I said about King Suma in the offseason. He's actually legit. So King Suma finally getting love.
Oh, Johnny.
Oh man.
Marcus, what's going on, buddy?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. Look, surprise him again.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
Man. He can run, but he can't hide from me, man. You know what I mean?
No way. Can't hide from older brother. Can't do that.
He can't do it. Can't do it at all. How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing
How y'all
all right,
doing?
man. Doing
Good.
well. I literally just got out here, man. I just got up here from the hospital. So
I know. I got in, Marcus, and so I was checking out. I put that GPS on him.
It's a tracker.
Where I was gonna go, I was gonna sneak in, no matter where he was. You know what I mean?
You tracked him down. He had the tracker on his car, underneath the car.
Yes, track him down. How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right.
Good.
Doing all right, brother. Yeah, much better you here too, man.
Chief Nation, what's going on,
man? Charles, don't give him the grades for the show for the game, So give him So,
Did you watch the game yesterday, Charles?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not. No, what was Sunday?
Yeah.
Oh, we had some family that came in for the weekend.
Okay.
From Mexico, actually.
Ooh.
Yeah, and so I was trying to be a good host. It was rough.
It was rough.
But we made it through it. So yeah.
Yeah.
I saw some highlights of it. It was man.
If you were gonna miss a game, that would have been the game to watch because that second half was like a preseason game. It was pretty. The fourth quarter was rough. It was a rough watch. It was just run the ball with all threes and fours in the game at that point. So it was kind of like a preseason game. So you didn't really miss much.
Yeah. I watched a little of the Falcons and 49ers.
Ooh.
I watched a little bit of that.
Yeah, that's true.
That was tough.
It was. Yeah, it was.
It was tough for the Falcons.
That was a rough watch.
Yeah. How's your brother doing?
He's doing good. Yeah, Tate's doing good.
Good. I think the last time I talked to you, I think you guys were going on vacation. I think it was in July.
Okay, yeah, it was right before we went on the cruise. And the midsummer. Yeah.
So how was it?
That was great. Bermuda was awesome. Probably some of the best beaches I've ever been at was in Bermuda. So
really?
Yeah, clear water, man. We went to one that I forgot the name of the beach, but it's called the Pink Beach. The sand there is like light pink. It's not. Some of the pictures online make it look like it's like neon pink with like this cotton candy water. It didn't look like that, but it was still nice. It was still a very clean beach, no rocks or anything, just pink and pink sand. Yeah, it was a good time.
That's awesome. How long were you guys on the cruise?
It was 10 days.
Whoa.
Yeah. Long time.
Water, man.
Oh, that's nice, man.
Yeah.
Nice.
I ain't never been on a cruise before, but
I went on one cruise, but it was a small ship. I would call it. But I want to go on a big one. Like the Princess or Caribbean, whatever.
Yeah,
the
big cruise and stuff like that.
Yeah. I want to do that one. Yeah, just one time. I'm not really I love scuba diving. Don't get me wrong. I love water. Being on a ship, I feel like I'm kind of isolated, not being able to do the things that I want to. But I know those cruise ships have a lot of activities on those.
They have so much stuff going on. Like you're kind of, it's like being on like a mall for like 10 days. Like I got like a floating mall for 10 days. They got casinos. They got everything there. They got comedy clubs, musicians, all types of things on the cruise. Basketball courts, pickleball courts, all that stuff.
That's
the
crazy.
pickleball's that big, huh? They got them on
man.
the cruise now.
On the cruise
Oh,
there.
yeah.
It's taken over.
Yes. They actually, not to interrupt you guys, but now that man, I'm sorry, man.
You're good, Charles.
Back, man. So, man, just good seeing you, bro. I'll talk to you later. All right, man.
All right, I'll see you.
Love you, man.
I love you too.
All right, I'll see you guys.
You see you, Charles.
All right, see you, Marcus.
See you. Look at that. That's an amazing appearance right there, guys.
Man, oh my gosh.
You guys question if you're family. You guys are family. You see interactions like that. That's how you know you're family, guys.
Absolutely. Yeah, surprising everybody. Yeah, I wouldn't have expected to see Charles, man. Hey, God, man. Almost bring me to tears. So, good deal. It said them dumb boys country fed. Absolutely, yes, we are. Big brother, go for KC forever. Yeah, one of my big brothers. So I'm the youngest out of 11, and so everybody always who's you looked up to, who was the sports guy and stuff like that. I said, man, my heroes was my brothers. There's no question about it. That was my heroes. So Charles was a man, incredible basketball player. You used to call him Mr. Natural. Played college ball. You see, I had my brother Duke, played some college football, a little bit on that. My brother G played college basketball. Let me see, my brother Bubba played college football, had a spell with the Cowboys, went out there for the Cowboys. Safety, hard-hitting safety.
Wow.
Oh, man. So a couple of family athletes, man, but my brother's John, also too. Another basketball player. We just, that's who I wanted to be. That's where I got all my stuff. So who is it? Jason, you youngest and largest. Yeah, I grew up bigger than all my brothers. So
Charles always tells the stories how he said he would come up from college and he would see, like, when he went to school, this small little guy. He said he came home one break and you were like this big dude. He's like, who the heck is this?
Oh yeah. That was it. I was just growing and growing. So my folks, man, just kept feeding us, and we all corn fed, country boys.
There you go.
That's how we are. That's how they grow us here in the bluegrass.
Good eats, baby. Good eats.
Good eats. So it was good because my father is one of 13, and my mom comes from 10. So we come from big families, huge families, huge families. So it does, man. When you talk about family is everything to us. It is. Yeah, no question about it. No question about it, man. So, we definitely support one another, love each other dearly, as you see. That's just who we are. We try to take that out to the world, to everybody else too. We really do. So, I know my mother and father always preached that and set a great example of who to be out in this world. So Andre said, I'm the youngest of 12. Wow, Andre, man, that is incredible. That is incredible. And my dad had 3 before him and my mom met and had 11 with her. So my other 3 siblings who are older, love them too, Joan and Bubba, and Pat. So youngest of 11. Big families, man. Huge families. So good deal. Yeah, family they are. Man, I'm telling you, man, growing up, incredible. Absolutely incredible. Yeah. Like even today, everybody just getting together because you're finding out who's a new cousin and all family members and people from everywhere, just kind of like New York and, like I said, Detroit. I mean, a lot of folks, a lot of people up there in Massachusetts. I mean, we have family pretty much everywhere. We did. So, John Clifford said, I think probably we had I don't know. It's kind of weird how to describe it. Obviously we all wasn't in the house all together. Wasn't like 8 is enough. But of course, my brother's a little bit. They're older than me, but I was still in the house as a child and the baby growing up. Some was already out to college doing things, kind of when I was coming along, man. But we had, shoot, I could just remember breakfasts and how that was, lunch and food. We had a smokehouse, just eat well. And the crazy part, man, I tell people this all the time, man, we didn't do no going out to eat. My mom would, she'll put everything together, man. Everything together. 5 grocery carts, absolutely. That's what we had. Shoot. That's what we did. So
yeah, going out really wasn't a thing when I was growing up either.
Yeah. My parents are amazing. They are amazing people, man. Blessed people. And,
yeah.
Thank you for everything they're giving us.
They raised you guys all right. You guys are phenomenal family, as you guys can see that connection right there. That's as genuine as it gets there, guys.
Oh yeah. I appreciate that, brother. I do. I appreciate it. I love my family. Love them. So yeah, man. So I know you was talking about. We get back into this, man, before I start having waterworks right now. So yeah, you talking about King Suma. King Suma did a good job. He did a pretty decent job. I'll tell you who I was more impressed with probably was Jalen Moore. And King Suma, like by all rights, he's getting better, still getting better. But yeah, he's where he was then and to where he is now. He is a starter in NFL, and he's playing like it. He's getting up to the second level. Still some things to work on, obviously, but hey man, this is what the NFL is. You just continue to get better on those things. But yeah, offensive line. So my grade for the offensive line, run game, I thought they blocked. Let me put it this way. They were much better pass blockers than they was running blockers. I think they did awesome in the pass blocking category for sure, because that's what we do well, and I think we just do more of it. That they've become very proficient in that aspect. Running ball, still want to see some lanes open. Still want to see some things that we need to just dominate. And of course, when I say this, I'm always thinking about playoff team, better teams that we're going to be playing, what we're going against, how do we look? And so I think we did a pretty decent job offensive line wise, but I gave our offensive line, I gave them a B- is what I gave them.
I've noticed, JD, it seemed like last year kind of got corrected. And then beginning of this year seemed fine. And over the last 2 weeks, I've seen the low snaps from Creed Humphrey because he had that issue, went away from it. Now it looks like the last few weeks I'm starting to see more snaps or pass kind of to go down to get these things. What's the, if you could guess, what would be the reason behind the low snaps?
It could be anything, mechanics. It could be him just getting off the football, trying to get on his block, and especially who you're going against matters too. It does stick in your head. If a guy got a quick punch and a jump, then you got to get out of your stance. And so sometimes it could throw some of your timing off because if you don't get on this guy now, beat him to the punch, shoot, he could. He wins. Okay, that's to his advantage. So I'm not quite sure what that is, Marcus. To be honest with you, it's just one of those things you keep doing over and over again, and you're trying to do it at the same time that you're trying to get an advantage, right, with the step, and that might be part of it, right? So
maybe it's a sign that we're throwing the ball too much in shotgun. Fatigue from throwing it back there too much.
Yeah, it could be that too. Like, geez, one out.
All right. Okay, so we'll get to wide receivers now. Rashee Rice, EGE season has begun. We commenced. Everyone ate yesterday. Nine
Yes,
different pass catchers, 7 different guys with 28 or more yards receiving yesterday.
Mm-hmm. It's great to see him back. Did an amazing job, man, catching the football. Always good to see Rashee Rice back. But you can see what he brings to the table with us offensively. And the times when we start styling, we say, hey, man, where's 4 at? Let's go. Let's give the ball to 4. So he stepped up at back shoulder throw. I said that on Twitter. I shared it that, man, we have a whole different bag now where we could throw this back shoulder throw to Rashee Rice. And it looks easy. He's a big, strong, powerful wide receiver, great hands. I mean, what else you want to say about Rashee Rice? He can run any route you ask him to do. So amazing. Like I said, on the reverse too for the touchdown. So welcome back, Rashee Rice. He looked good. Same thing as Xavier Worthy, getting the ball to him. He had some really good catches, some good plays yesterday. Hollywood Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster, like all the wide receivers, Tyquan Thornton, all the guys are looking good. They are. And so when we're talking about weapons, we got a multitude of guys that can catch the football. And I know that's kind of like the dilemma on what are you going to do offensively, right? You can't take away from your weapon base, but also, too, you got to be able to set your weapon base up, right? You got to be able to set your scheme up, what you're going to do offensively. And I think we got to set it up more with our run game. We got to get more yardage out of our run game, okay? Because it just helps out the pass even more. If not, then, hey, they're going to start throwing things to us and we start dropping guys and, hey, we just not let guys catch the football. That's what we're going to do. We're going to see if the 4 can get home and make tackles and whatnot and let that be the end of it. You know what I mean? So that's what I saw with the wide receivers. They did an amazing job yesterday, kind of getting open. I gave the wide receivers a B+.
Hi, I'm right there with you. For all the hype that we heard about the receiver room going into this week, it kind of it was all there. And also, too, you talked about what we saw in preseason, right? We only had really 1 game sample size for Rashee Rice, was that last preseason game. Mm-hmm. The back shoulder throw that we saw in that touchdown that he had was pretty much identical to the one he caught yesterday, the one he caught against the Bears in that preseason game. You said, I love this. I want to see more of that when he gets back here. And then what we're seeing it. We saw it right away in this first game back. I thought that was phenomenal.
Yeah. So the boys welcome you back with open arms, man. Yeah, everybody was happy. Everybody's happy. So, yeah, teams gonna have to be aware, man. This is gonna be It's gonna be crazy going forward. Seriously,
it's never ending, man. It's a never ending. I mean, because the thing that I loved about it, like I know Tyquan had 1 catch yesterday, but that 1 catch is a 40-yard catch, right? Then Hollywood's doing his thing, Worthy's doing his thing, Rice is doing his thing. Everyone got involved in that receiver room. It was really awesome to see, and just like the chemistry they have too, because you see this genuine love for each other as they all kind of do their own thing in their own role they have.
It's rare to have a team that has probably legit 4 number 1 receivers. Could be number 1 anywhere else. I mean, seriously. Only one I could see is kind of going is Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, them jokers, they got receivers everywhere too, right? So I think, man, yeah, for sure. You start looking around the league like, okay, who's got what we got? Hey. Look at there, this little bear. Look around the corner. I don't see it. I don't see him. And I said they took a picture. Speed is what we got.
And it's funny too, because I remember a couple of years ago, you and I were kind of like, man, I wish we had the Packers wide receiver room. And like in 2 years, Veach has retooled this receiver room, and now we have that receiver room that we've been wanting for 2 years. I mean, it's just like talent at each spot. You can go 6, 7 deep. Whatever, probably going to see Jalen Royals this year because we have so much talent ahead of him right now, and so we don't really need him. And that's, 2 years ago for Veach to retool this wide receiver room for what it was from now to what it was 2 years ago. Love it, man. Love it. Will says, who's got better than us? Nobody, baby. Nobody. All right, we got our tight ends. Okay, our tight ends. We saw Noah Gray involved a little bit yesterday, more so than we have seen.
Yeah. And I know this game was supposed to be wide receiver game. I get it. Noah Gray, caught him with the ball. Travis was, caught a few balls. I think the tight end room looked good. They did. And I wanted to see a little bit more involvement. I was like, hey, we shouldn't go away from Travis and those guys. But hey, if we get a little break this week, fine. I'm good with that. I ain't got no problem with it. But I think as far as overall what the tight ends was able to do, man, I gave them a B. So
love it. Hey, and I saw a tweet, I forget where I saw, but I could see it, that a lot of people are saying that you're seeing less of Noah Gray getting targets and stuff this year. It's because they're kind of using Juju more of the role that Noah Gray was kind of being utilized last year. He was getting a lot of more targets. Do you see that? I mean, what the role that Juju has this year, is that potentially taken away from what Noah Gray's role was as far as the receiving game?
I mean, it could be. I just think that, for 12 personnel, 13 personnel, we just have particular things we want him to do. And of course, like you said, if Juju's taking away some of those because he's more capable, sure. We came in kind of with a loaded deck. And so when you start thinking about, well, how do we, divvy up, the play calling and personnel for particular plays, we know we want to try to push the ball down the field. Now, if you want to have a little bit more play action, it makes sense to have maybe a Noah Gray in. He'll catch balls that way. And the one that he caught was the bluff, blocking the corner, because it's going to be a quick little screen. And so Pat sees it immediately. That's such a good play. I love that play anyway. Anytime that thing pretty much works. Anytime you set that up, that bluff right there, as long as you sell it, a guy should be open. It's all on the seller for the guy right there to buy it. And so he did a good job of doing that, and he was open. So yeah, could it be because Juju was, what we trying to do offensively? I do believe so. There's a little credibility there.
Yeah. All right, you mentioned screen game. We saw a lot of screen game yesterday from the running back room. Obviously, Pacheco ran hard yesterday. Kareem Hunt ran hard, but we saw Rashee Smith get some screens. The running back screen looks to be back for the first time in 2 years.
Yeah. Had a really good one, and got the first down. But it showed, man, his ability. I was like, geez. That sucker got it all kind of, on his own from that last effort. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I before that happened with Rashee Smith, I had the running backs in the C range. They were looking at about the season, just being honest. And then Rashee Smith came in and got his little looks and little carries and stuff. And I was like, okay, hey, he bumped it up a little bit with his play. I think Pacheco did a decent job, but he kind of gave up a sack. That was on him. You got to meet that guy a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage. He just gave him a little bit too much room to hit him square in his, right there underneath his nose. So, other than that, Kareem Hunt came and got a couple of carries, had that one up the middle, and one of them kind of sidestep and get on up the field. Man, I think he was surprised that he was up through. And I think he was like, wait a minute, hold on, I'm just too free. I'm in the secondary now, and that kind of slowed him down a little bit, man. But that's what I gave these guys. I gave the running backs, the encompassing thing, a B-. That's what I gave the running backs.
I think that's definitely fair, for sure. And today, I know a lot of people are upset about this, but it's Saturday. Diana Racine reported that the Chiefs are not looking to add a running back. They are looking for D-line depth, and that was before the ONL thing. And then injury. And then today, Andy Reid said he loves all three of our running backs because each of them have their own specific role. So anybody who thought we were going to go trade for Alvin Kamara and Breece Hall, I hope you guys can now be rest assured that's not happening. Okay.
Hey, and if they did, they wouldn't tell you. But I tell you what, I'm happy with our running backs. I'm happy with what our guys do. And a lot of it still relies on the first, the line to get those things opened up. we'll just continue to get better at that. And this might be some hard yards, but sometimes you need guys getting hard yards. Sometimes you need to get some dudes, 3 or 4 yard carries, which Kareem Hunt could do and Pacheco could do, And we do have the home run hitter, Rashee Smith. So I think we're good with our running back room. I'm always pleased, what these guys have done. When I'm sitting there and looking at what they've shown, Marcus, let me see. So the last B- this week, B last week, B plus A the week before that, a B. I mean, they grading pretty good. They are. They're grading pretty good for what we give them. They're doing exactly that. So everybody looking for Alvin Kamara or Breece Hall, we're not going to do that. Why? Because we don't feature our running backs in that way. We don't. So when you got, like I said, 4 receivers, got 3 great tight ends capable of doing things. There's a lot of, we got 1 ball, a lot of targets. And so, we're not going to, mitigate what we do offensively to feature a top back. That's just not going to happen. We're just not going to do that. So.
Yeah, I saw an interesting stat of Rashee Smith. Rashee Smith leads all running backs in yards per route run by a country mile. He's at 3.13. The next closest backs are Jalen Warren at 2.63. Bijan Robinson at 2.5. His targets per route run is 46%. Basically, every route he runs, he gets the ball. He's just an efficiency machine. I mean, we said that we drafted him that he was going to be a problem and a matchup nightmare for teams, and it was a steal to get him where we got him. And yet another thing we've called on this show. I hate to pat ourselves in the back here, but another thing we've called on this show.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So.
All right. So now we're going to go to the defensive side of things. There was no picture of Spags from this game, so I just found a cool picture from the defensive. There was no penalty on that play as far as grabbing face mask there.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, Spags was very clever what he did. And I think a lot of it was to obviously it's almost like he's playing around with what's his name? Coordinator. Why did I forget his name? Who's coordinator's name? What's his name?
Chip Kelly?
Chip Kelly. He was playing around with Chip Kelly. I think that's what it is. I think he just knows, like, okay, Chip is it's only certain things he can run. Let me go ahead and confuse him, Gino, and those guys. And that's what he did. He was doing a lot of like backing his linemen out. I've seen a whole lot of it this past week. I'm like, geez, he's throwing all these things out there. He's throwing them all out. So it was good to see what guys can do and just try some different things. And I think, man, Spags really was like, look, these guys are not going to, there's nothing they can really do offensively. And it showed. We really outclassed these guys. We're just a much better football team than them. Okay, they just didn't have enough. So even with Jacoby Myers and Brock Bowers, we still beating these jokers, 31 now. They probably would have scored maybe a couple more points. They probably would have scored with them 2 guys in there. But, we still would have held them under, because what were we, like 5th? Like scoring or something like that defensively? So, yeah. We do a good job, man. We bend, we don't break. We just keep everything in front of us. We know offensively, like, hey, they're not going to score no more than 3 touchdowns. We should be good. That's the way we should look at it, right? No more than 3 scores, and we shutting it all down. So offensively, we should just know 3 touchdowns and a field goal wins the game. That's it. We get 21 points, we win it. That's how it should be.
Number 3 scoring defense, by the way.
Number 3?
Yeah, okay. 17.7 per game.
Gosh.
Behind the Rams at 16.7 and behind the Texans at 12.2.
All right. I'll take it. Incredible. So Spags, definitely gets a B+, man. B+ for Spags, baby. B+ for Spags.
Love it. And also, I mean, we'll talk about D-line in a second here. But, yeah, D-line, there we go. Charles Omenihu, which you said, you told everybody to relax, give him time to get with it, and we've seen in the last few weeks. I know his sack didn't count this past week because I think there was like a holding or illegal or there was something downfield. But you're starting to see him come alive on the defensive line. We're going to need a lot of that with ONL down, and they're probably going to make some move here coming up here. But what did you think about the defensive line this past weekend?
I think they did a good job. I think they did a good job as far as like what they were asked to do. They was asked to do different things, but the guys came off the football. That's kind of what I wanted to see. Now, we understand the pass rush is going to be what it is at this moment, but we were closing in on Geno, and I was really pleased with it. I was really pleased with how our defensive line played. Like you said, Charles Omenihu, like you said, and I've been talking about, like, just give his brother time, and he's just getting better game after game after game. Those guys did a great job. Chris comes in, gets him a sack. Nadi was able to hold up some guys. I see Mike Danner getting down, and they were pursuing. That's another thing they were doing, pursuing on the tackle. They weren't just stopping. After that, they was running guys down to get rallying to the ball. So with that, man, I actually gave our D-line a B+. They played a good game this week. I'm really pleased with those guys. B+.
So like I said, I mentioned the Diana Rossini report was the Chiefs were interested in adding defensive line help. And obviously the situation's gotten worse with the ONL being suffering a torn ACL and being out for the season. If you had, obviously a lot of people thought we were going to go for an edge rusher. What's that?
Wait a minute. What'd you say?
That Omar Norman Lott's out for the season with a torn ACL.
Oh my gosh!
You didn't know?
No.
Yeah.
I just watched the game today, man. I've been. Yeah, you've
been busy. Yeah.
I've been busy, man. Oh my gosh! I did not know that.
Yeah. So you factor in the report they were looking for defensive line help before that. Now you have this injury, so it's like almost like a certainty they need to go get a defensive tackle. Be it picking up Christian Wilkins. Tasia brought up trading for Calais Campbell, a guy who could play D and D tackle, a guy who's in probably his last year. Try to chase a ring right before you say farewell to the NFL. Where do you stand? What route would you kind of go here?
I don't know, man. There's a lot of ways to go. I think you got to go get a dominant guy. That's where I look at it. You got to go get a dominant guy. I like Calais. I wanted him to come here before. I was about him coming here before. So there should have been a chief. Should have been a chief a long time ago. Should have had him a ring. Hey man, maybe this is the time. But we still, even to get him, go get another guy. Go get a young dude that could come in. Maybe have a couple more years on his contract or whatever like that. Shoot. I think you need to go get a hefty dude. You got to go get a monster, Marcus. You can't play around with this at all. Go get you a monster where you got a shot and a chance at this. And I'm talking about go get you a good name, a big name, or somebody. It ain't gonna kill you, breaking your bank, and none of those things. And if you doing the trade, get you a couple of draft picks or whatever. But you make sure you're gonna make this thing hit, make it hit. So that's how I believe.
Yeah, I know there's the problem max red flags. Well, the red flags no report was ever confirmed by anybody, but it was just kind of the talk of the Christian Wilkins stuff within the Raiders locker room. Nothing was ever confirmed on that whole stuff. I think we talked about before, this could be one of those things where, hey, like if you can't make it work in Kansas City, you're probably done, right? Like you won't get signed by anybody else. He's only 29 years old. Last year, I looked at when the 2024 free agency class, the most rankings, NFL.com, CBS, Yahoo, ESPN, the top two defensive guys going into that free agency class were Chris Jones, number one, Christian Wilkins, number two. To get him, I know they said that midway through the season, he should be fine from his Jones fracture injury. Now, we're coming up to mid-season right now. They have Jones and him and Christian Wilkins as your defensive tackle front. And Christian Wilkins, you talk about a young guy. He's only 29. He's going to be turning 30 by the end in December. So you have him here for 1 year. Then maybe you can get him another 1 year of prove-it deal after the season. And that's pretty solid to have him and Chris Jones at your defensive tackle spot. So and it wouldn't require us to trade any assets. You got to keep the 6th or 7th round picks if you want to. And you have a young defensive tackle who was by many metrics, he was one of the top defensive tackles just a year ago. So I like the kind of boom potential that addition could be.
Mm-hmm.
As long as he keeps his nose clean as well.
Yeah,
that comes with it.
Well, so he's a guy that you could go after. I don't know where he sits with him. I mean, physically where he is. But if you're doing anything like, draft capital, you got a couple fourth round picks. You could talk. You could make. Look, each of those guys can will and deal it. They can. Okay, they really can. So I'm gonna leave it in their court to handle that. Can't speculate what they can give. They understand that. But what I'm saying is, you get you a guy here, okay, that is going to come to wreck shop. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth, because here's the thing: if you lose, or let's say you give draft capital for this guy, you can get him back other ways. We know that. I mean, this is how negotiations work. So, but I do believe you had to go get you a guy. Okay. And, you can't just be like one of the dudes we have right now. I like those guys, but man, we need a true monster beside Chris. That's what we need. That's what we need. And that's just going to free up a Menahu. It's going to free up, Kalafkis, Gelati and all those guys. It's going to free them all up. Yeah, you get you another monster besides Chris, man. Ain't no telling what our defense could look like. Seriously. So that's what
I'm with you, JD. Well, we've talked about this. We talked about this even before the Omar Norman law. We drafted him. And like, okay, bring another guy, and we didn't, but we did. We got rid of Pennell and brought in Nadi, but
And I like what J Dub thinking. They said, I think we need two guys. I believe you. I believe it.
Trade for Calais, a 6th round or 7th round, and then sign Wilkins. Boom, you're set right there.
Yeah. Demond Green being, we all on the same page, brother. Y'all on the same page.
Yeah.
Sure. Jerron's mentions at desperate times call with desperate measures. Have to call up the boot. Oh, man. Oh, Jerron Mitchell. Silly.
It's time, baby. It's time.
Wow. Oh, man. We ain't going to call it back because we don't know who we are. But dang. Oh, man. Yeah. This is going to be the top until we find that. Absolutely right.
Yeah.
Absolutely right.
And I like the Wilkins sign for what we just talked about, right? Like, he obviously was an elite. I mean, he was getting paid elite money, and he was a number 2 defensive tackle in that free agency class. He's only 29. So it's like, it's not like a guy who's at the end of his career, right? You could sign him and be like, okay, well, hey, if it works out, then you have Jones and Wilkins for the remainder of Jones's contract. He can ride off into the sunset with having a partner in crime like Wilkins. Man, that'd be unreal to have those two dudes in the trenches.
Oh man, oh my goodness, it'd be amazing. I mean, seriously, I think that would. Oh man, I can just imagine the possibilities. For real. So, and he might be looking for revenge, sweet revenge on the whole league. You know what? That's fine. All count me out. You got people calling me booty bat and whatever it is, and all this. I got this name on me, and hey man, hey, all I want to do is play football. I'm like, you got it.
There you go.
Come over, put your hand in the dirt over here, man. Come on over here, buddy.
Do your thing.
Mm-hmm.
J-Dub says, I'll take the booty warrior. Me too.
Y'all silly. All
right, we're going to go to the defensive backs, JD.
DBs, baby. DBs. I think they played a good game. I mean, it wasn't really challenged by too much out there, and they played like it. They're very aggressive, played a great game. Didn't really give up anything, to be honest with you. Nothing at all. Stingy. Knocking balls down. We was hoping to get a couple of air throws by Geno to get some interceptions. Didn't really have any of that. But I think, man, they played a solid game as you could possibly get, to be honest with you. I would give them an A, and the only reason I'm not going to give them an A because they just didn't have enough work for an A. Let me put it that way, okay? That's my thinking, okay? They are B+. You won't give them A. Go ahead, by all means, do that. but I just don't think they got enough work for that, man. So I gave them a B+. Okay.
That's fair. I mean, yeah. I mean, I definitely with that. I mean, Gino was checking down to the flats like all game long when he was throwing it, man. It was just rough.
Yeah.
Rough situation over there for those guys and the Raiders fan base.
Yeah, everybody agreeing B+ for sure. B+. Appreciate that. Yeah, for sure. B+.
All right, JD. Now we got linebackers. It's so interesting that you say these guys can get a lot of work. I literally go to the Chiefs website to get photos, right?
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't find any linebacker photos. This is crazy how we just couldn't find any linebacker photos. And the only one I found was this one with Chanel, and this is like the fourth quarter, I think. But there's not a lot of pictures from the defense. I mean, they barely played yesterday. I mean, JD, more points, more first downs than they had plays yesterday.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So this, linebackers played a good game. Same thing. They didn't get a whole lot of work. It was times I was like, man, they could have made some plays that kind of got up there for real. But I think they played a decent game. I've been down on my linebackers, man, the past couple of weeks. I have been. So I think they need to get back up here in tune to where they needed to be. But I gave these guys, I gave them a B. Linebackers got a B for me.
Yeah, I mean, they shut them down pretty good yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Not a lot of holes for Genty to go through, even though they barely ran the ball yesterday. I mean, that made no sense. I mean, you run the ball in the first with a second play, and then you don't run it again until the next quarter. What are you doing?
Yeah, he broke a couple of tackles, and that's why I was like, okay, I can't give these guys more than that because there was a couple of tackles we could have had. We just didn't do it. So.
All right, now we're going to finish here with special teams, JD.
These jokers, boy, boy. Man. Special teams. Man. Okay, I'm going to give it to you straight from a special teams coach. I really am not impressed with what we do special teams wise. I'm just not. It's mediocre, to be honest with you. And I would be upset because I would challenge my guys to say, look, we can't be the weakest link of what's going on offense and defense. We got to pull on weight. We got to pull our weight. That's what we got to do. And I'm just not seeing it. I'm not seeing it in the return game, and I'm seeing it in, who was the returner? I can't think his name. He got up through a couple times. It was from Miami. Wasn't it? It was.
Was it Moser?
Yeah. The old monster come in and get a couple. He got 2 bad knees and 2 bad ankles. Hey, that's like getting up the field. And but good. Buck hit one. Good, Buck. Good. Buck was good. That's what I needed to see. So with that being said, man, we still need to get our return game being weapons. That got it. We have to. Not okay with that. Just not. I'm not all right. Not all right with it, man. So with that being said, I'm gonna give him a C+. I'm gonna give him a C+ this week. I'm gonna give him a C+ because Buck was 100% on what he did. Okay, and that was the reason they got a C+ is because of that. Dang, these suckers right here, though, boy. I would not be happy at all.
Yeah, it seems there's a kind of a blunder in special teams every week. I mean, just like mishaps all over the place.
If I'm the ball around, I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Pick the ball up. Literally, that'd have you pull your hair out. Like, what did y'all do? What? No. It's just, yeah. I would have said, yeah, C, Sparkle Sports Guard, Demetrio Spence, everybody got him a C. I guess I did them right. Perfection 2K gave him the D. Linda Hunter gave him C-. Andre gave him C-. Yeah. I'm telling you, I just, oh man, gave him a little grace, I guess, on this one. C plus. I gave him a C plus because Buck, he did what he had to do. So, yep.
And with the way the offense is cooking, just all you got to do is make your extra points. And if you aren't going to make your extra points, at least get the ones that are like within the 30-yard range. They do stall out in the red zones. But for the most part, the way the offense is cooking, Butker should have an easy job right now. Just make your PATs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So that's it, baby. That's the grades. So I don't know if those grades are surprising to you guys and gals. I know we beat this team 31-0, but we should have. We could have beat this team. Heck, shoot. We 50 points if we wanted to. Could have easily did that. This is a wounded team. This team doesn't have no juice, no energy. Yeah. So they're in a bad way right now.
Yeah. Yeah, you saw Carolyn and Andy Reid embrace in the middle of the field after the game was over. Had a long talk. Usually you don't see like long talks like that, but I'm sure it's more like, you got a lot going on over there, man.
Hey, man, just hang in there, man. Like, you know how it is. You got to just work through it, try to get better, salvage some things. And Pete Carroll's a good coach. He is. But, hey, man, they ain't looking like it's hard. That's tough. That is tough to be a part of something like that. I thought all the draft picks and stuff. But I said,
you see Crosby on the sideline. I mean, he looks dejected. I know he left the game with an injury, but he's looking at it like, man, like I give my everything to this team for years now, and like it's nothing's happening here.
What? Yep.
Boy, well, that's the Raiders Concerns podcast can cover that. Could cover a lot of stuff they have to cover. So,
don't you have to talk to them tomorrow?
Tomorrow I do. But the Raiders guy's been pretty much tapped out for the last few weeks. I mean, he's seen the writing on the wall.
Yeah, give him a pat on the back for me, if you will. Right?
I will.
JD sends his best. All right. So
I will.
I didn't even have a heart to call my cousin and my brother. I didn't even have a heart to do it. I'm like, I ain't gonna do that.
Nah, it's no point. It's like it's like bullying someone for no reason. It's like Juju bullying Branch. We already won the game. What's the point? What's the point?
Yeah. When I go into my barber, I'm just gonna give him a big old hug before he cuts my hair. That's how we do. Hey, you're all right. I got it. I understand. I'm not gonna mess with you today. You'll be all right.
It's like, hey, we'll be rooting for you guys against the Broncos and the Chargers. So just do your thing for those weeks.
Yeah, I know what Bobby be like, man, JD, I don't want none of that hug, man. I'm gonna worry none of that. Hey, man, try to give you some support.
Yeah, my brother, who's a Raider fan, texted me and Tasia during the game, and he was like, "This is this is how as delusional they are." He goes, "This is the crappiest Chiefs team in the Mahomes era, and we trotted out the worst Raiders team ever."
I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I just ha the comments. I'll let you have it, man. Whatever.
Gotcha. I got you.
All right, guys. Well, that does it for us on this Monday morning tight end show. Hope you guys enjoyed the grades. Just got to have JD back. Again, wishing all the love to your fam, JD, and to Chad. Hope everything is going well with him. We love Chad, and we can't wait to see him back on the chat here soon.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Marcus. Chief Concern family and everybody came in, and your guests here on the show. We out of here. We love each other. That's what we do. But we love you guys and gals coming out here, spending your time with us. But thank you so much for your prayers. Continue to pray for me and my family and Chad and everybody else. When I look at what life is absolutely precious. And it's precious with your family, your friends, and everybody else you come in contact with. We got to be better people toward one another, okay? And it's just, it's my message always. It's always my message, Let's pray for one another, man. Hold each other up. Hey, let's talk up and be good people. Let's be good people, And it's beyond that. And so I'm taking that for my family. Like we take our love, we spread it out and share those people to others. So, we lock arms with one another, man. And Marcus, my brother, if I haven't said it enough time to say it again, man, I love you, brother. And Tage and your family, and thank you so much. And all you all, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. God bless each and every one of y'all. Love each other the way you're supposed to. Make this much a better place, okay? Let's get out of away this selfishness and craziness out here. We can do us much better than what we do. So thanks, Greg, man. Appreciate it, my brother. Hope you're doing well and everybody else out there. Y'all take care. Thank you all. We will see you on Wednesday. Thanks, Kathy. Thank you so much. So I'll say what's up and say bye to everybody. Since Jazzy D, thank you, sir. Andre Chenault, Kathy Welshgrove for KC Forever, Greg Rose, Linda Hunter, Trey L. That's the Kathy Welsh Sports Cards, Richie Hall, Demetrio Spence, Optimistic James, Perfection 2K, Joe E., Linda Hunter. I see my man was in here, JDub84. I'm over here going through the messages and his oath, that booty. I'm just laughing. Sasha, thank you so much. Ron Mitchell, DeMonte Greenbead, JDub84, Gary Holland. Let me see who else we have on here. I seen Will was on here earlier. Maureen. I never heard, so I didn't understand that. I think that's your name. What's it? What was that? All B's on offense? I think, yeah, all B's. Offense got all B's. So no A's. High B's. I think we might have had a B minus. I think it was. But everybody else, all B's on that. John Clifford, appreciate it, sir. Laura Zingser, thank you, Laura. Shout out to all the big family people out there, and your families, whoever you are, where you at. Will, my guy, good seeing you like always, Will. Let me see who else we got on here. See, Dunn, Charlie. Got to see my big brother, Charles. Shout out, man, to big bro coming in. I'm going to go up there and spend some time with him. Jason Tarbox. Chief was here. I said Trey L. I think that's pretty much, Marcus, what we have in here. So, all right, guys and girls. Rich Cooper. That's what Rich. I see Rich out here. I'm the Brown. I'm the Brown was in here. What up, I'm the Brown? Threw us five bones, $5. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for that contribution, sir. Tailgater was here as well. General 51. Here. Let's see. I'm taking some time, man, but I want to read everybody acknowledge Ramon Brown. Acknowledge everybody that came through. It's important. Did I see Hippie in here? I don't know if I see Hippie or not. I'm gonna say Hippie because sometimes I miss Hippie Cypriot. All right, but with that, y'all take care. God bless. We will see you on Wednesday. All right. Be good to each other. We'll see y'all later. Marks, my brother. Love you. Love you guys and gals out there in Chiefs Kingdom and Chief Concerns family. Love you, ladies and gents. We will see y'all later.
Wednesday. Take it easy, everybody. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.